In the year 1912, amidst the grandeur of the majestic Titanic, women from various walks of life embarked on a journey of opulence and adventure. As they prepared for the voyage, little did they know that their skilled hands carried more than just fashionable accessories. Tucked away in their trunks and handbags were delicate threads, crochet hooks, and a deep passion for the art of crochet. Their nimble fingers had spent countless hours meticulously crafting intricate patterns, transforming simple strands of thread into intricate lace doilies, delicate shawls, exquisite garments, and handbags. Crochet had become a beloved pastime for many women of that era, providing both practicality and a creative outlet. On board the Titanic, as the ship sailed across the vast ocean, these women found solace and companionship in their shared love for crochet, knit, and embroidery. They gathered in cozy corners under the gentle glow of the flickering gas lamps, cherishing the moments of silence and tranquility amidst the bustling grandeur of the ship. Amidst the laughter and conversations, their crochet projects were beginning to come to life, each stitch weaving stories of their dreams, hopes, and aspirations. As the Titanic sailed towards destiny, the women found solace in the familiarity of crochet, knitting, and embroidery. It became a comforting thread that connected them with the world they just left behind and the new one that awaited them. In these shared crafts, they found unity and camaraderie. Little did they know that their crochet projects would become more than just a creative pursuit. They would become tangible fragments of history, symbols of resilience and grace in the tragic events that would unfold. The stories woven into the delicate lacework would forever be intertwined with the tale of the Titanic, immortalized in the annals of time. Thus, in the quiet moments on board the ship, the women continued to crochet, knit, and work their embroidery, their creations becoming not only works of art, but also testaments to the human spirit. With each stitch, they stitched hope, resilience, and the power of creativity into their work, leaving a lasting legacy that would transcend the boundaries of time. And so, as the Titanic made its fateful journey, the women and their crochet would forever be remembered, encapsulating a piece of history that continues to inspire us to this day. Hello and welcome to Just Vintage Crochet, and as you saw from the thumbnail, I am starting another new series. Mystery patterns are not going anywhere. This is just an additional new series to the channel where we will be exploring and recreating many of the more popular crocheted items, more of the common crochet items that were around the events of the Titanic. These items would, without question, have been on the Titanic because they were more popular items of that time, basically 1912. So I've got a handful of crochet pattern books that span from 1908 to 1912. And I feel like that 4-year time frame, a lot of those items 100% would have been on the Titanic. There's almost no question. We're talking about yokes for nightgowns, various types of handbags, children's clothing, blankets, but small baby blankets, belts, all kinds of accessories. So for this pattern, this one is from 1912, the very year the Titanic went down. But this particular bag was very popular for, I would say, more than 5 years before the Titanic went down. Well, I mean, the Irish crochet granny square was really popular anyways, but this particular styling was very popular for years before the Titanic went down and years after. So there's almost no doubt, there's almost no question that a bag just like this would have been on the Titanic, maybe with a woman who found herself rescued or went down. So here we go. For the sake of you guys being able to see easy what I'm doing, since we are working with thread, I have decided to work with the sport weight yarn here, Bernat Baby Sport. It's still going to be fine enough but easy enough for you to see. But I am making this bag with number 10 crochet thread. With the number 10 crochet thread, I'm using a 1.5 millimeter steel hook. And with the sport weight, for the sake of the tutorial, I'm using a 4 millimeter hook. So to make the actual bag, this is how much I have left from a full ball. This is 1,000 yards. So let me retrieve the little ticket in here. There we go. This is the label, and it is 1,000 yards, 940 meters of Red Heart Classic Crochet thread. And this is what is left over from that. So this is what it took to make one full bag in this number 10 thread. And yes, number 10 thread. 1.5 millimeter hook is what I used as well. Okay, let's move right along. Now, if you don't want to make this into a bag, you can just make up a bunch of these granny squares here, these Irish crochet granny squares, and make yourself a blanket, a baby blanket, whatever you wish. It does not have to be a bag. I'm going to show you how to make the little baubles, and I'm very excited about this. This is swan, the color is swan beige. This is silk ribbon that I bought off of a vintage and antique materials Etsy seller, and this is from 1920. So this is very exciting to use this. So you can see here that they are using a ribbon handle, but I'm going to change it up just a bit because there's two common variations of this pattern. One with the ribbon handle and one with a cord, and this is a Romanian lace cord. I'm going to show you how to make this as well. And I'm going to use, since I don't have very much of the ribbon, I'm going to use ribbon around the neck or around the choke, and I'm going to use cord up here. So what you won't see on my finished bag are bow ties at the top and the one extra bauble that hangs off of the bows. I know in the pattern they call these tassels. In my head, the whole time I've been calling them baubles in my head, so baubles. But I did make all of the others. I know you just heard me say I did make. I essentially have this bag completed, but I don't want to show it just yet. Let's get through the steps of what we need to do first. The bag's almost complete because I'm going to show you how to assemble it. We're going to work on that together. So let's get started. Right off the bat, we need to make our rows. So grab your yarn or your thread. Again, for the yarn, I'm using a 4 millimeter. That is the recommended hook size for this yarn. And we're going to start with a chain of 6 and form a ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Form a ring. There we go. Chain 1 and work. Nope. Chain 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yarn over and work a double crochet plus chain 2. 1, 2, and again. And we want to do this until we have 5 spaces. We're ultimately going to make 6 spaces, but we're going to continue to make this, work this pattern till we have 5 spaces, that being a space. Chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. That is 4 spaces, chain 2, 1 more, double crochet, and I'll need to spread these out just a little bit. There we go, because we want these to be in a circle. They were just a little bit close together. That one is stuck on the knot. That's okay. Now we want to, should look like this now. As you can see, I had to manually spread them apart. Chain 2, and in the 3rd chain of your starting chain 5, work your slip stitch. Now in the pattern, it says to turn. I found that to be a bit cumbersome, turning all the time. As you can see here, chain 5, double crochet, forming 6 spaces. Then it says to turn and then work your single crochet. I really truly found this to be quite cumbersome. So I'm modernizing it a little bit. I'm going to be doing that in just a couple of spaces in this pattern because we want to work smarter, not harder, right? So I'm just going to chain 1 and jump right in to this first chain space here and work 1 single crochet and then work 6 double crochet. And we are starting to make our first petals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and end with a single crochet into the same space. And this is what you should have. A single crochet to start, 6 doubles, ending with a single. Now without chaining anything at all, jump right over into the next chain 2 space and repeat. A single crochet, 6 doubles, and a single crochet. And you will repeat this in all 6 chain 2 spaces around. So this is 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then finally a single crochet. Okay, this is how it needs to look all the way around. Come back whenever you are done with your 6th petal. Here we go. So at this point, the pattern would want us to turn and then chain 3. But instead, what I found to be a little bit easier, don't turn at all. Just chain 2 instead of chaining 3. Come back here and around this first bar, work a slip stitch. So I'll do that again slower. Chain 2, we haven't joined. Come back here, flip it over, and do basically a front post slip stitch. Here we go. I just found this to be easier. Now, we will chain. We're going to chain 6 and basically work those front post slip stitches the whole way around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get a little slack on my yarn. And then flipping it over to the wrong side, this is the back side of the flower, and do a front post slip stitch. Chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come over here to the next spoke, as they call it, and do a front post slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Front post slip stitch. Front post meaning you have the wrong side facing you. This is how it should look on the front of the flower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to do this all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get the little guy out of my way. Tails can be kind of in the way sometimes, huh? And then one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then around that same spoke, as they call it, this meaning a spoke that we originally slip stitched down into, we're going to do it again. Then I like to try to just push everything to the top since we have so much going on this one post. Just try to pull it all up to the top. There we go. Okay. Now we are going to work, I'm twisted around myself, there we go. Okay, moving down, and we're going to work 1 single crochet and 9 double crochet. And we're going to end it the same way we did. So I already have chain 1. Just jump right on over into the first chain 6 space that we have and work 1 single crochet and 9 double, and then 1 single. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and then into the same space, a single crochet. So just keep working like this all the way around. You should have one petal lining up perfectly behind another petal, just like this. And here is the picture. So you can see all the petals are going to be stacking on top of each other and not offset. Okay, so without chaining, you're going to jump straight over to the next chain 6 space, work your single crochet, your 9 doubles, followed by a single all the way around. Come back whenever you are ready to join. Okay, all done with that. Now I have not joined or anything. I just simply ended with my last single crochet. So you will join by working a slip stitch around the same spoke, as they call it. I don't mind calling it a spoke. It's kind of cool. So you'll work your slip stitch around there. Now we're going to chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and catch the next spoke right here. This area right here where your single crochet or whatever that is, that slip stitch is, right back here, right there. So we're going to do a front post slip stitch around that and chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then again on the next flower, or the next, between the next 2 petals over, you'll see that like single crochet join and work another single crochet join right around it. And the doggy hairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so continue to work this all the way around, and you will join the same way. Just slip stitch around that same. You really pack those first spokes quite a bit. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm almost there, so I'll just finish this up with you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is going to turn out quite a bit bigger, but it'll give you an idea of what it will look like with this size yarn if you wanted to make a really nice like bedspread, throw blanket, baby blanket, anything really. 2, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And here we are, kind of a crowded spoke, but we're going to get it around there. Okay. There we go. I chain 1, and then of course I just come over here and try to pull up on this. There we go. Make it up here where it needs to be. That way we don't have one petal that's lower than all the others. Okay, that's where we are at, and we're gonna just repeat. We're gonna work some more singles and doubles. Now we're going to work 1 single crochet, 13 double crochet. Believe it or not, we're almost done with the flower. Now there's a lot of patterns out there that you'll find where there's like 6, even 7, 8 layers of petals to a flower. But I believe this one we're doing 4 or 5 layers, 4 layers maybe. So not too big. Okay, so we're just going to jump right over to that first chain 8 and single crochet, 13 doubles. And this is going to be worked exactly the way we've been doing. You're going to end with a single crochet, then without chaining, jump over, work a single crochet, excuse me, 13 doubles, single crochet. I'm going to leave you to it since you don't really need me to show you this part anymore, and I'll be back whenever we are ready to join and work our last 2 rounds, I believe, of the rows. Okay, so since I feel like you've got how to do this down pat pretty well, I'm going to read you the last 2 rounds, and I'll start the next one with you, but I don't think you need me to start the last one with you because it's exactly what we just did. You just add more stitches. So for the 8th round, we're going to make, well, first of all, you're going to join like we have been, and then we're going to work chains of 10 and then work the slip stitch in the next spoke around. And then we're going to work 1 single crochet, 15 double crochet, 1 single crochet in each chain 10 space. This completes the rows. So let's go ahead and start this together. And then you won't need me to show you how to work the single crochets, 15 doubles. You've got that pretty much down pat. So we'll come down here. And join with the slip stitch. This is what I'm joining to right here. There we go. And that's how it looks in the front. So we're going to chain 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you just come over to the next spoke and work your slip stitch. Once we're done with the rows, it gets really, really easy. Believe it or not, this is the hard part. This is the hard part of the whole thing is the rows. This is the most difficult part. The rest of it, it's really, really easy. A very addictive and fun pattern, if I might say so. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then work a single crochet. I'm working these single crochets right here, right where these two, where it looks like a heart, right around this right here. That is where I work mine, right there. Okay, so I'm going to work the chain 10s all the way around, and then we're immediately going to start working the single crochet, 15 doubles, single crochet. So I will be back whenever my last petal round is completely done. Okay, so here we are all done with the rows. Now we can start on the chains and picots, and let me tell you, I made this whole bag off and on, working on it off and on in 2 days, and that includes, well, 2 full days because it did take me a little bit to make all the baubles. It really makes up quite quick. It's a fun pattern. All right, let me get my hook in here. Now here's where I'm going to change things up just a little bit and go off pattern. Now what on earth am I doing here? Okay, so here's where I'm going to change things up a little bit and go off pattern. On the pattern, it wants us to, it says here, 10th round, chain 7 and catch the, yeah, okay, so we're starting off already with a picot, but that adds an extra loop here when we go from, well, that's going to add an extra loop right here, and it's going to look off from all the other sides. I didn't particularly care for that too much. So here's what I did. I just slip stitched down here into this join, because here's our first single crochet, and here's like a little join loop in front of it, like our chain 1 space, and just chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm doing this kind of tight, and then skip 5 stitches, or skip 4, starting with your single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the 5th stitch, go ahead and join with the slip stitch. My dog is playing with his He's playing with his hedgehog behind me. Okay, now from here, we're going to work our first chains in picot, or what they call a picot chain. Or not what they call, but what is called a picot chain. So trust me when I say this just works out much better. So to work a picot chain, we're going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I do these kind of firm, but not super firm. 5, 6, 7. We just want a nice uniform looking chain. Then at the very bottom, count 1, 2 up. In that second one, work a slip stitch right into that loop, right into that chain. Then work 8 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And count 3 chains up. 1, 2, 3. And in that third chain, work a picot. Then chain 2. 1, 2. Now, it wants us to place this in the 5th stitch over. Now, it does tell us from down here, not at the top of this chain 5, but we don't even make a chain 5 in the pattern. I added that. But it wants us to work this picot chain down here and then join it right here. Now that's going to give you a picot chain right here on the side, jutting out the side, that doesn't exist anywhere else in the pattern. And so it's just really off-putting. But it does want us to join in the 5th chain, or in the 5th stitch. Then it wants us to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the 5th chain over to join, but I don't do that. That makes it to where everything is kind of going that way a bit. So you can skip 5 and work in the 6th, or you can count 5 stitches up just to keep it completely symmetrical. So starting with the single crochet, it's always kind of hiding down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that 5th chain, or 5th stitch, sorry, I work a slip stitch. And that makes us very even. Before, it would have had us working it into this stitch right here, which put everything off. I'll show you how it looks. Joining right here, and you can already see what I'm talking about. See how it's off? So I'm just kind of going off pattern here, and instead of in the 5th, or just count 5 stitches up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that 5th stitch. Work your slip stitch, and then we immediately work another picot chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come down here, and in the 2nd chain up, work a slip stitch. And then we work 8 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then in the 3rd chain up, 1, 2, 3, we work a picot, or we work a slip stitch. Then chain 2, 1, 2. So it works like this. 7 chains, work a picot in the 2nd. 8 chains, work a picot in the 3rd, followed by 2 chains. Then we just jump over all of this and start counting right here, your first single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that 5th stitch. Work your slip stitch and work a picot chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In the 2nd chain up, 1, 2, slip stitch, chain 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Count 3 up, 1, 2, 3, slip stitch, chain 2, 1, 2. Then I come over here to the other side and I count 5 chains, or 5 stitches up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the repeat all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, oh, doggy hair. 1, 2, 3. and then chain 2. Come over here now and count 5 stitches up, and there's a hair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come down here to the second chain from the bottom. Work a slip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Third chain from the bottom. Work a slip stitch. Chain 2. Come to the other end of your petal and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and slip stitch. So here's what we are creating. See there? And these are perfectly on top of the petals. It's nice. Now let me read to you what it wants us to do so you can follow along with the pattern. Chain 7, catch back in second chain to form picot. Chain 8, catch back in third chain. Chain 2, thus forming one set of picots. Catch with a slip stitch in the 5th stitch of the petal. Make another set of picots as directed and catch in the 10th stitch, so that's 5 stitches later, of the petal. Continue in this way, making a set of picots and catching in the 5th and 10th stitches of each petal all around. So that's what we're doing, except for I changed it up a bit. See, catching in the 5th, here's 5, in the 10th stitch. Them hairs are gonna haunt me. Okay, so we're already 5 stitches in, right? So in order to do it the way they want, here's how it would look. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here's where they would actually want you to put that other picot, leaving a ridiculously offset design. It's just, yeah. And so I'll show you what this looks like so you can see that even though I am almost redesigning almost their pattern in a slight way, here is the result. And I think you will agree, it doesn't ruin it at all. In fact, it makes it quite nice. There you go. Quite nice. Isn't that beautiful? Here's the other half, and we're going to stitch these together, and you can see how you don't have to turn this into a bag. You can just make a whole bunch of these, even big ones like we're making here, and make a beautiful bedspread in no time. Because once you get the rhythm of making the chains and picots, it's just chains and picots. It's so fast. It works up very, very fast. So let's move on with the rest of the round, but I wanted you to see that I'm not ruining the pattern by sort of rewriting this point. It really, see, here's the part that we're working on right here. And you see how it looks really nice. So yeah, it's sometimes little improvements. And you know, like I think a lot of us have talked about in the comments, I don't think a lot of these patterns were proofed before they were put out for publication. They weren't tested. So now we're going to chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Work a picot, second chain from the bottom, and then chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Third chain from the bottom, and then chain 2. 1, 2, and then come over here and count 5 stitches up. 1, never miss that single crochet down there in the little crevice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do it their way just for once. And I kind of think it was mistyped, miswritten. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Second chain from the bottom, work a slip stitch. Then chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 1, 2, 3, yes, 7, 8. Third chain from the bottom, chain 2, then we work in the 10th stitch. So we're already in the 5th, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then let's just keep going. 1, 2. Now this is just to show you how it's written. I'm going to undo this and fix it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm just going to make a picot chain really quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Third chain, chain 2. And then the 5th stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is how how it's written. No, ma'am. See what I mean? And this is the way that I've essentially rewritten it. At least this portion. Do you see how symmetric that is? Not symmetric. Okay? All right, so let's carry on like this all the way around. And when you get to the end, I'm going to show you exactly how we're going to join and begin working the petals or leaves that come out the 4 corners, okay? Those are super easy too. Be right back. Okay, so here is how everything should be looking right now. Perfect. And you'll want some kind of a stitch marker because we don't join. We work in the continuous round with this pattern. So now we make, and here we are at our join. We make another picot chain. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Work the picot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And work a picot. Oops, there we go. Chain 2. 1, 2. Now, you're going to jump over all of this and right here into this chain, like chain space between the 2 picots right here, you're going to join with a slip stitch, just like that. Now go ahead and get your, this is where I was struggling before too with the other 2. Where do I put the stitch marker? I think I want to put it right here. Yes. Okay, now you're going to chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then come over here to this next flat chain space between the 2 picots. So we're going to skip over this V, this like V shape, and over to the flat shape. We always work in the flat shapes. We always jump over the V shapes. And work your slip stitch. Chain 1 and turn. Here we do need to turn. Work 16 single crochet around this chain 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Now chain 3, 1, 2, 3. In the very first single crochet, so we're not skipping any at all, so it will seem like there are 2 doubles coming out of the same single. Work a double crochet and work 1 double crochet in every single crochet except for the last one. So we only want 15 double crochets worked, not counting this chain, So just actual double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. I've got one single crochet unworked right here. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and come down and work a slip stitch into this last single crochet. The reason we do this is because we want to work this leaf or this petal, but we don't want our work to finish up here at the top. We need our work to finish down here at the bottom. So that's why we work a chain 3 and slip stitch to simulate our last single crochet or double crochet. Now we work a picot chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and slip stitch. Get some more yarn. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then in the third chain up, and then chain 2, 1, 2. Now, remember what I had said before, we never work in the V area, we always work in the flat area. So you will slip stitch into that flat chain space between the two picots and work another picot chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And in the third chain up, we work our picot plus chain 2. Then we skip over the V area, slip stitch into the flat area right here. And now we're going to work another petal or another leaf area. So we chain 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Skip over the V area and into the flat area. Work the slip stitch. And I will lay this out flat so you can see just what it is that we've just done. So we've made a corner, a flat space. Now we are about to work on another corner over here. So between on this first row of corner petals, we work 2 sets of chain picots between each corner. So I'll show you this corner one more time. We chain 1 and turn and work 16 single crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there is the 16 single crochet. Then we chain 3 and pretend it doesn't exist. And right into that very first single crochet, we start working 15 double crochet across. Again, remember, we never count this first chain 3. Not yet anyway, we will later on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, leaving 1 unworked. We chain 3, come down into this last single crochet and work a slip stitch. Then we immediately start working our picot chains. 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. in the third chain up, and then chain 2, and we skip over the V section and into the flat section. We work our next slip stitch followed by a picot chain. When we finish this picot chain, we skip the V section, and in the flat section we work a slip stitch. Now we have another V section right here, and we're going to chain 8 for our next corner petal and slip stitch right over into this side, okay? So that is how that is going to work. Just work one more picot chain, slip stitch into here, from here, chain 8, attach it to this one here, work your corner petal, then you will work your next picot chain, attach it to this flat section here, picot chain, attach it to this flat section here, where you will then chain 8, and attach it to this flat section, work your corner petal, and then come on back when you get to this point, and I will show you how we're going to connect this and work the next round up. Now the rest of the square will be a repeat of the picot round I'm about to show you after this, and the corner petals, and that's it. It's just working the corner petals and the picot round over and over and over again, and I'll tell you how many times you need to do that, and you need to make 2 of these. Okay, so I worked my last petal, corner petal, and you can see here is my stitch marker. This means this is where we bring it to an end, but again, we're working in a continuous round, so we're not going to join per se, but we will be joining. So I've already worked my picot chain, and then come over here where that stitch marker is. Remember, we never work in the V space. Go ahead and join with a slip stitch, then work another picot chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, down here to the second from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, third from the bottom. What is with the hairs tonight? They're everywhere. Okay, chain 2. Now we are going to join up here. So we have to count 3 stitches over, counting the chain. Now we will count the chain as a stitch. So 1, 2, 3, join with the slip stitch, and then make a picot chain. Pardon my dog. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Make our picot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Picot. Chain 2. 1, 2. Now we will count to 10 from the 3. So we're already in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and work a slip stitch in the 10th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Make your picot chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Third one up. Chain 2. Now we will come over here at the other end and count 1, 2, 3 stitches over in that third stitch. Go ahead and join. Here's where I'm going off. I'm like not working off the pattern here, because here they want you to work, I believe it is the 13th. The 3rd, middle, and 13th stitches over. Well, if you work the 13th stitch over, 1, 2, 3, it puts you right here. And it's really just, it's off balance. So instead, I just kind of did my own thing, and that's what I'm directing you to do. You can do the 13th, it's okay. But I just go 1, 2, 3 from the other end, and it keeps it quite even and symmetrical, as you can see. And we just carry on. So this is going to be a picot round where we're just going to keep working picot chains all the way around, making sure that you join in the flat chain space between the picots, just like that. Then you'll come over here and you'll count 1, 2, 3, and join in the third stitch. Then you'll count 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Join into the 10th stitch, work another picot chain, and then come over here and count 1, 2, 3, and join into that third stitch from the end, counting the chain as a stitch. And just carry on, make your picot chain, join, make your picot chain, skip the V area, join, and all the way around. So that is how this whole round is going to play out. And let me put my stitch marker right here. There we go. And then I will show you how we're going to work the next round of, or how we start the next round of corner petals. After that, you should be able to work it because it's just really simple, the 2-row repeat. So I think the only part that you'll really need help with figuring out is how to start the next, where exactly do we start the next corner petal, and then you can go from there. And just know this is growing out. So here we had 2 picot chains between the petals, but after we work this round here and we start the next round of corner petals, we're going to have more picot chains between the petals, okay? So I will be right back whenever I am completely done working this picot round, and we can start these again. Okay, finished our picot round. I already worked a set of picot chains here, and right where my stitch marker is, I'm going to join. And work another set of picot chains, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Third chain up and chain 2. Now we'll come over here, skip the V area, join right here, but now we're going to work our next corner petal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Jump over the V shape and into the flat. Chain 1, turn, and you remember how we worked the petal down here. So you're just going to continue to do that and then just carry on. So this is pretty much, I wanted to jump on here just to show you how to start it. And this is going to be the same for every round. You're going to work the petal, then just a straight picot round, and then the petal again. Now it says, I likely used, when I made this, a thread a little too thick because I didn't want the bag to be too big unless the bag is intended to be very big. Now, they say to keep working in this fashion until you have 4 of the corner petals followed by 1 row of picot completed. So instead I worked 3 because I didn't want my bag to be bigger than this. I just think this is a good size. And let me get my measuring tape. So perhaps they made theirs with a 20 or 24, number 20 or number 24 thread. This is a number 10. But then again, maybe it was made with basically a 10 and it's just supposed to be bigger than this. Isn't that pretty? And this is not blocked. This is how it looks unblocked. Very pretty. But this is it with 3, as you can see, 1, 2, 3. But they call for 1, 2, 3, 4, followed by your picot row, which I did. I ended with a picot row, as you can see here. So with just the 3, we are at about 7.5 inches. And I think that's pretty good. We're about 9 inches in diameter. I think that's pretty good. I'm happy with that size. So go ahead and work. Let me get these out of the way real quick. And work these rounds as many times as you wish. Now, if you want to do a bedspread, honestly, maybe just the 2 rounds is enough. you know, work one more round of this plus 1 round of picot, and that's enough for making squares for a bedspread, because this is just 1 round of corner petals and picots completed. And let's look at the measurements. Wow, 8 inches already. So yeah, and this works up once you get in the groove of making the picots and the chains, and you've got this memorized, which is really easy to do. This works up really fast. This is a fun little pattern. All right, so I'm gonna leave it at this point. You know what to do now. Work your petal, work your picot chains, work your petal. Your petals should always be worked. Your chain 8s should always be worked over the top of a V area, but basically over the top of your corner petals. So really, really nice. Okay, now I want to show you how we're going to make these little baubles here. Okay, I'm going to show you this with this thicker yarn, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to make the Romanian lace chain, or Romanian lace cord, sorry. Okay, so to make the little baubles, let me grab one here. We're going to make these. You will need a little bit of fluff. That will be necessary. So I've got a little bit of fluff here. You will need a stitch marker. So chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're just going to use the same thread and the same hook that you've been using the whole time on the bag. So form a ring, chain 1, and work 8 single crochet into the ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we are working in a continuous round, so here in a minute we will apply the stitch marker. So into the first stitch, work 2 single crochet. You're going to work 2 single crochet. I'm just going to continue to weave in my end. Let me tighten this ring up first. Okay, I'm just going to weave that in, but you'll want to work 2 single crochet into every stitch around so that you have 18 stitches. 16, so that you have 16 stitches. Sorry, I literally heard myself and I'm like, wait, did you just tell them 18? No, 16 stitches. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Now it says to work 6 rounds of just the 16 crochet. 6 single crochet. Well, there goes my stitch marker down the couch. So we're not increasing anymore. I'm going to need a new stitch marker because it just fell down the little crack of the couch. Slippery little bugger. So right into our first stitch. That is 1, next stitch over, 2. I always do 2 stitches before I do the stitch marker so that it's easier for me to, because I don't have to worry about the hook. Anyways, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Looks like my center opened up a little, but that's okay. Most of them kind of did. And so whenever you are ready to count your rows to know if you've reached what you need to reach, just omit the first 2 rows, because this is your 8 single crochet row. This is your increasing row. So you really want to start counting from the 3rd row up to make 6. So really, in total, you want to see a total of 8 rows, but it's just going to be 6 rows of no increases. So 1, 2. So I'm going to continue to work this way until I have all of my 6 rows of no increases done. Then I'll show you what we're going to do next. These work up super duper fast. I got all of mine done in just an evening. So I have my 6 rows here, and here you can see I'm just going to skip the first 2 and starting right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now what we're going to do is work 2 single crochet, skip the 3rd all the way around. So 1, 2, put my stitch marker back, and then skip the 3rd. So we're going to skip the 3rd and then start in the next one over. 1, 2, skip the 3rd, next one over. 1, 2, skip, next one over. 1 and 2, skip, 1 and 2, skip, and then 1 into the last. Now we will stuff it. Okay. Move our stitch marker. Now the last row, we're going to work into the first stitch. We don't have to worry about the stitch marker no more. And we're going to skip every other stitch all the way around until we have like this. And I'll show you. So we worked our first, skip the next, work the next. Don't worry if you pull any cotton up, it's okay. Skip, work the next, skip, work that next, skip, skip, skip again. Just keep working round and round and round until it's all closed up. Skip, see if I can get one more in here, and I bet I can. Yeah, I can. Now I just come over to any of these 2 stitches here on the end. I'll just go with this one right here. Work 1 more single crochet, then chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then I always crochet 1 extra for the knot. So a total of 11. It doesn't say to do that. That's just what I always do, because you see there's 11 there, but once you pull on it, you really only have 10, because that last one just as useful as being a knot. And there you have your little bauble. Now, if you want to make the longer, more slender ones that are shaped more like this type of shape here, you'll start with 6 single crochet, double it to 12, and then work your 12 all the way up for as many rows as you need to obtain maybe about just over an inch, maybe 1.25 inches, so about this long here. So let's measure this. Yeah, it's going to be about 1.5 inches to create the ones that are shaped just like how this is shaped. So you'll start with 6, double it to 12, and then keep 12 for as many rows as you need. So that's our baubles. Now you're going to need, I'm not going to work the ones on the handle because I'm not putting bows up there. So you're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then on the back, 13, 14. So you'll need 14 of these, okay? They work up so quick. I mean, that kind of looks like something else, doesn't it? Don't come at me. You were thinking it. I said it. I was just the person to say it. Okay, anyways, let's start on our Romanian lace cord. So you're going to start with a chain 2. Now for the Romanian lace cord, I'm not using the same thread and hook. Where are you at? Just a moment. The Romanian lace cord, I went with this 8/4 cotton, which is basically, and there you can see, it's 8/4 cotton from Hobby. And this is basically a number 3 thread. And I went with a 2.75 millimeter hook to create, where are you at? To create this, because the number 10 thread was just entirely too tiny. So here is how you will make the Romanian lace cord. Chain 2, start with a little bit of a loose chain there. Chain 2 and work 1 single crochet. Turn. And now you see that we have, here we go, let me get my little pointer here. You see that we have the top of our single crochet right here. And on the end over here is a little bar. Well, there goes my hook. Okay. A little bar right here. So here is our stitch, our single crochet stitch. And there is the bar just on the back end of it. Right there. You're going to work into that little bar. So here we go. Skipping over this single crochet and going into the back bar, just like that, and work a single crochet. Now turn again, and you're going to turn every row. Now you will see we have the top of our stitch right here, that little back bar, but an additional little back bar. You can see that there are 2 of them now, and we're going to work into the 2 of them. So here we go. Here we go. Go right into both of those back bars, pull up a loop, single crochet, and you see how it's creating this sort of wheat braid effect. Now you will turn, always skipping the single crochet. We never ever work into the single crochet directly, just into the 2 bars right behind it, right here. Here is the single, and here are the 2 bars. Sort of looks like a light bulb almost, and the part we're working in would be the part where the threads are of the light bulb. Just like that. And once you get your rhythm for it, it goes really fast. See, we just turn, go into those 2 bars, and boom, and it creates this really pretty braid. Great bag cord, like if you want to do bag handles, this is really great for it because look at, it's really tough, really tough. So you'll just keep working this over and over again. Okay. And there you go. Show you how long I made mine. For this particular bag, this one is 19 inches long. And then fold it in half, as that's how it will be. It will be folded in half with a little knot at the top. And so that is how this one will be. I like it. All right, now let's go ahead and join the 2 squares together. Okay, so this is going to be a right side out seam. So go ahead and make sure that your right side is out, your roses are facing you. I have these 2 joined at the bottom on these picots here just to keep them behaving while I'm working. So go ahead and lay out your squares, and we're going to join. How you'll want to end your squares is one last set of picot chain. Here is your corner, and here you have the 2 picot chains on top of this corner petal. You want to end right there in that first picot chain, right between the 2 in the flat section, right between the 2 picots there. That's where we're going to work. Okay, so we will bring the 2 halves together, and we're just going to match like section for section. So I already have 1 chain, so we're going to make just 1 picot. So go ahead and chain 7. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me get you down here now that I'm using this little thread. And okay, it was a little blurry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Second chain from the bottom, form your picot, then chain 2, and that's it. We're just going to do 1 picot, and then come over here, and you can see we have the corner petal, and right here we have this corner picot section with the flat between the 2 picots there, and that's where I'm going to join, right there. Slip stitch, make a picot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come down here. Chain 2. So how we're going to join these is the flat sections of the picots where we customarily work in, we're going to work in. So now I'm on this side. So now I'm going to come over here and join it to this flat section right here. Make another picot and join it to this flat section. Make another picot, join it to this one. Make another picot, and on and on and on. So here we go. Turn my work. And here's where we first started. So there's a flat section right here between the 2 picots, a flat chain. And I'm going to join it right there. Make a picot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2. Turn my work, and right here is my next. Oh Lord. Right here is my next flat section. Right there at the bottom of the corner petal. And that's where I'm going to join. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Chain 2 and turn. Now on this square, I'm already joined into this one right here. So now the next one down. And you'll do this all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and turn. And here is the next one down, the next flat space, because you can see right next to it is a little V space. So just join right there, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Work a picot and chain 2 and turn. And let me go ahead and undo this now that I don't have to worry about it not behaving. So here's where we're joined. So we skip the little V space and come over to the next and join right there. So hopefully you're getting a pretty good idea of how this works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Make the picot. 1, 2. Turn. And Here I have a little V space, and there's my next flat space. So that's where I'm gonna join, right into there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, turn. Now on the other side, I'm already worked into this one right here. So I'm going to skip this V shape and go into the flat shape right here. Okay, so I'm going to continue to work this all the way around, and when you get to a corner, just keep working it. You know, you're going to work the flat, skip the V, work the flat, just join them like that. You don't have to do nothing special or fancy in the corners, just keep following the pattern as it is. And so here's how it looks. Now, if you wanted to make this for a bedspread, there you go. That's how they're joined. There we go. Okay, and so really beautiful for a bedspread, in my humble opinion. So I'm gonna keep working this all the way around, and then we'll work the top rows. And then we will add all of our decorations. Okay, so let me back out just a little bit for you. I am all done seaming all the way around except for the top. Obviously, we want to leave the top open. Here is how the seam looks. Very, very nice. There we go. Okay, now we have to work the top of the bag. So we've got some rows left to go. So I've already worked my last picot here for the seam, and so I'm going to go ahead and join it right here. Now, let's try that another way. There we go. And chain 1. Now it wants us to cut and join, basically join right up here between these two picots and this flat edge, but I don't want to cut if I don't have to. So you can cut if you want to, but I'm going to slip stitch on the back of these my way up to this point right here. So actually I'm going to undo that slip stitch. And I'm just going to start slip stitching, undo that chain 1, I mean. And I'm just going to start slip stitching my way over. Not too tight because I don't want it to reshape this corner here. But you can see I'm bending the picots down toward me and just picking up any little stitch behind them. And I pull way up because I want a loose slip stitch. And we'll just pick up this one right here. Let me get close for you. I'm already in that one. Next one over. Then we'll jump over to this one. I'm just working the backs of these chains here. We got to make our way to this space right here. Come back here. And I'm going to work one more over because we need to be in the middle of this chain. So I'm actually just going to slip stitch right up here into the top. So now that we've slip stitched our way over there, or at least I have, just come up under the chain space and work a single crochet, then chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then jump over the little V space again and into the flat chain space, work a single crochet plus chain 6. This will be the repeat all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And jump over the V space and into the flat chain space, single crochet. Now I have a little error here. As you can see, I worked 3 picots into 1 chain. You know, it happens. Just wasn't paying attention very well. So I'm going to jump over both of these picots and the V space and work my next single crochet way over here. So I'm going to work this chain just a little more loose than usual. 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's going to be fine. It's not going to be noticeable. These mistakes are allowed and handmade. There we go. So I just jumped over all of this here, and it's going to be fine. But repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. I made these loose again. I only wanted to do the 1 loose. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm not choking real hard on my thread, but I'm also not going as loose as I did for this chain, just a moderate tension. So we jump over the V shape and into the flat. So we will do this all the way around. Okay, so here we are at the first join. Now, there's no instruction for how to work the join, but what I want to do is bring these 2 sides just a little closer together. So here's what I'm going to do. I've already chained 6. I worked my last single crochet right here in this portion of the corner petal. So you can see we have a picot kind of right in the middle here, and we've got equal spacing on both sides, just about. So I'm going to work just on this side of the picot, work a single crochet. I'll work in the chain. That way it doesn't slide around. Now chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then skip over all of this, and right here on this side, work our single crochet. And that just brings the 2 halves a little bit closer together. As you can see, it squares it up a bit, in my humble opinion. So I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So just continue to work in this fashion all the way around, and I will meet back up with you when we get back around to the beginning here. Now in the book, it just says to join. It doesn't really say how or where. So I'm just going to go ahead and join into our starting single crochet here. And I'll show you actually how I worked this. Here's our next join, our next seam area, I should say. And so that's what I did there. I was fortunate enough to have just like a little stitch right there I could work right into, and brought the 2 halves a little closer together. Okay, so this is how it should be looking now. We should have this like line of chains going all the way around. Now it says to, it says here the ribbon holes all around and join. The ribbon holes are next to be made. Chain 5, 1 double crochet, chain 2, skip 2 chains, and repeat all around. So we're going to work into the chains and not around them. So let's chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip 2 chains. So 1, 2, 1, 2, and in the 3rd chain over. That looks like I skipped 3 chains. I'm in here. 1, 2, yeah, yeah, okay. Well, it looks like 3, but I'm going for it. Chain 2, skip 2 chains, and in the 3rd one over, work a double. Chain 2, 1, 2, and in the 3rd chain, chain 2, 1, 2, and in the third chain we work our double if I can. There we go. 1, 2 chains. Now we skip, and end the third chain over. So I'm going to continue to do this all the way around. So this is our ribbon round. I'll be right back. Okay, made my way all the way back around. It said to join, so I just went ahead and joined in the third chain. Now it says to make another round of ribbon holes, putting the double crochet in the spaces of the preceding round. So what I'm going to do, I haven't slip stitched yet. I'm just going to, no, I'm going to go ahead and 2, 3, 4, yes, okay, I'm going to slip stitch over. Like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, because the single crochet will count as 1. 1, 2. So hopefully you guys saw what I did there. I slip stitched over twice and started from there. Kind of put me somewhat in the middle. It's a little off center, but that's going to be fine. Okay, then chain 2 and proceed to do this all the way around. Chain 2. There we go. Double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, just like this, like a honeycomb. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, finished that up. Now it wants us to do a round of picots, caught down in alternate spaces, fasten off. So I'm not really sure, are we meant to do the the picot chains or just a picot? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2. Catching in alternate chains. Maybe this is what they mean. No, I'm thinking it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Now skip and then come over here. I think this is what they mean. So I'm going to go for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because it was quite specific for the seam. It did say to do single picot, a single picot. So it was specific. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Third one up. That was a single crochet. 1, 2, skip, and in the next space over. So this is what I'm thinking that it wants, so this is what I'm gonna do. So okay, I'm not exactly sure how to join. It does say to join. It does. Okay, so we have to join and fasten off. So we'll figure that out whenever we get to the end here, but I'll be right back. Okay, worked my way all the way around. I have one completed picot chain left, and I think I'm going to join it just down here at the base of this one, since it wants us to just cut at this point. So yeah, I'm just going to join with the slip stitch right down here. Let's see here. Yeah, that works. Okay. Well, there we are so far. Okay, so now we are going to go ahead and join here. This is where we cut, so let's just join right here. It wants us to make a round as the first round of top was made, working from the wrong side. Yeah, okay. So from the wrong side, so then I guess we'll work in this one here. Here's where we just fastened off. So here's the inside of the bag. So I'll go ahead and join right here then. Work 1 single crochet, then 6 chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we will come over here. We're going to skip the V and work our single crochet here. So we're just going to continue this 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all the way around. Pretty easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I will be back whenever I complete this. So now I'm ready to join, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and join to our starting single crochet. There we go. Now we are to turn and make 7 single crochet in chain just made, 1 single crochet in center, and repeat all around. Okay, so I'm gonna chain 1, now turn. Now we have the right side facing us. Make 7 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 1 single crochet in center. So then we'll just continue working 7 single crochet into all of the chain spaces. I meant to do, there we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then right here in that slip stitch, or single crochet, I mean, we work a single crochet. So this is what I believe they want. Okay, I'll be back whenever I get all the way back around to the beginning. I just finished up and I slip stitched into my starting single crochet. Now it wants us to turn, chain 8, and catch down in the single crochet of previous round, repeat all around. Now what I think they mean, okay, so it wants us to turn and chain 8. So I'm just going to go ahead and chain 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I'll turn. Did I lose a stitch? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what I think they mean is to work a single crochet in the middle here. When they say catch the single crochet from the previous round, that's what I think they mean. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I am working on the wrong side now. So here is the inside of the bag. Okay, so single crochet right there in the middle. And then repeat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and single crochet right there in the middle. Okay, so we will repeat this all the way around. I'll be back when we get back around to the beginning. Okay, made it all the way back around, and I simply worked a slip stitch right into the starting stitch there. Now it says to turn 5 single crochet in chain just made. chain 3 and catch back to form picot. 5 single crochet in chain and then 1 single crochet in center. Repeat all around. And I think this is the last step because the next one we make what they call the little balls. They also call them tassels. I call them little bubbles, little bubblies. Okay, so chained 1 already, turn, 5 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, make a picot. Well, I guess you could probably make a picot with a single crochet there. But there we go. And now we work 5 more single crochet. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, I wonder what the picot would look like with a single. Let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3. Single crochet. Probably not going to look much different. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oh, you know, I think I forgot to work. I forgot to work the single crochet in the middle, but I kind of like the way it looks without the single crochet in the middle. It has like more of a wave, but it's just a bit of a bigger picot. So I suppose it's all comes down to personal preference. One big, one little. I don't know. I don't really care either way. I mean, I like both of them is what I'm trying to say. But I'll go with theirs just because that's the way they want it. And I forgot to work the single crochet in the middle, but does it need it? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I need one more here. Then a single crochet in the middle. And then here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna bet that it's not really needed, the single crochet in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, it's not really needed. Look, it doesn't make that much of a difference. I'm just gonna, look, actually it makes this like long right here. So I'm just gonna leave it without. That's just me. But anyway, so I'm gonna continue to work this all the way around and I'm gonna join in my very first single crochet right over here. And then we will work on attaching the little bubbles and the ribbon and everything else. Okay, so I've never made one of these before and there is no instruction as to how to add these things. I'm sure it was just common knowledge. So I'm adding them my way. Please, if I'm doing it wrong, please be kind in the comments. This is my first time making one of these with 0 instructions. So, you know, please keep that in mind. But this is what I am doing. So I'll show you what I'm doing. I already did all of these. I haven't done the back rows or these because I wanted to show you guys what I'm doing. So again, if this is obnoxious and ridiculous, just be kind. Okay, so I came straight off of the point here. So that's what I'm going to do on this side. Just came straight off of the point right there. So I grab one and I just run it through right here. Pull the whole chain through. I can just feel angry or disappointed eyeballs staring at me through the phone. You're doing it wrong. Maybe, but you know, maybe it works. So I just double knot it like this. See, I just tied the ends of the strings together. I did not incorporate the chain 10s at all. Give a good tug. Then I just cut these. Now I will tie these two ends together. Please don't get mad at me in the comments. Okay, besides, what's that phrase? If it works, is it really wrong? Anyways, I pull pretty tight on that, and that is how I did that. Okay, then on this side, right here is where I'm going to attach. And I pull the chain all the way through. Tie it with just a little speck to spare. See, I don't completely cinch it all the way down. Then I tighten that up, and I do one more. Cut. And I don't cut all the way to the nape. I do leave just a little bit. Then I'm going to tie these two together. I'm no authority on this stuff. So with the rose, I worked through the two bottom spokes, around them, I should say. So came in this way, came out, skipping this middle one right here, came out on this side. I'll be a little more ginger this time. Treat this a little more gingerly, I should say. And I just tied it in a knot. I'm certain that I'm breaking someone's rule right now. And I'm not trying to on purpose. I just don't really know how to attach these any other way. Okay. And then tie these into a knot. Give it just a little tug, and that's enough. That's more than enough. Okay, so here we are so far. Okay, this is where we are, and now we're going to do the ribbon, and my ribbon is way too big. My ribbon's too big. I'm gonna put it in anyways. Okay. Isn't this beautiful? I wish you guys could feel this. Oh, it's already trying to fall apart. Well, what do you get off? It's silk, and it feels like heaven. Okay. I'm hoping I have enough. I think I do. Yeah. So I will cut. I can crochet, okay? No one ever accused me of being very crafty with this other stuff. I don't really know what I'm doing too well. I think that's gonna be long enough there. Try to cut at an angle. And now I have to feed this through. So I'm gonna start on this side, and I'm not gonna work these two middle ones here, just on both sides of them. So I'm gonna go in and just feed it on through. And for all we know, it being oversized might make it even prettier. Even prettier. I'm just going to say it now. Oversized is prettier. I would recommend you get a ribbon that's too big. That's how I justify this. And it probably will. It probably will be very pretty. Okay, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and weave this all the way through around to this side. And then on this side up here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to ignore these two right here. And on both sides, here and here, I'm going to go in and I'm going to go in this way and come out this way with some more. That way we can do the whole drawstring thing. So I'll be right back. I'm going to use this. Look at this. I was doing it the hard way. Oops. Hopefully this works. Yeah. There we go. Look at that. Come on through. 1, 2. There we go. Yeah. I'm going to have this job done in no time now. Okay, be right back. So I've got the ribbon in now, and I'm going to add this handle here, and I'm literally just going to tie it on and then sew it. So I'm going to tie it first, and then I'm going to like do a good end weave in with it. I cinched it up. I tied little bow ties here on the end and tied a little knot in the top, and there it is. Let's see if I can back out even more. Oh, there's Mama House. So here it is, a bag that I have absolutely no doubt whatsoever was used by or made by a woman on the Titanic, as this was a very, very popular item in the time. And it remained popular for several years after. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? I love everything about this. It's just so, it's so pretty. And there's that cord. So let's open it up. It needs to be lined. And there you go. This is a reticule. The pattern calls it Irish Crochet Opera Bag. So, okay. I'm not sure. Maybe someone can tell me what is the difference between a reticule and an opera bag, or is it just the way they named it? Isn't that beautiful? I wish you guys could feel this silk. It feels beautiful. But there we go. I hope you guys make one. And if not one of these, then at least make some of these squares and make you a little blanket or something with them. Isn't that fun, though? I love it, love it, love it. I'm just going to play for just a moment. I love everything about this. Oops. Ready to go to see the show on the Titanic, or ready to go to dinner. Because I know they had to, oops, I did it wrong. I know that they dressed up like 3 or 4 different times a day for different things. A breakfast outfit, a lunch outfit, a walking, strolling around the promenade outfit, a afternoon outfit, an evening outfit. Look at that. It's so beautiful. Okay. Well, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Get you back down in here. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please be on the lookout for more of these to come. I hope you like that we are doing the Titanic. There's a lot of things. Women really got into crochet around this time, and well before too, but I mean for more than just doilies and stuff. You saw some of the photos in the beginning, so we're really going to get into my level of crochet but some really nice stuff, because a lot of the stuff you saw in the beginning was very intricate Irish crochet. Oi. Whew. This is Irish crochet, but this is easier Irish crochet. It gets harder. Okay. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.